Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2020 general reading. We are looking at the first half of November, so from the 1st through the 15th. And this reading is for the air sign of Gemini, our beloved twins. So welcome everyone. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today. I hope that you're all doing well. Thanks for being here, for watching this video, and for all that you do in support of this channel. Liking, sharing, subscribing, donations, support, feedback, comments, reaching out for personal readings. All welcome and appreciated. Thank you so much, and many blessings back to you for it. So this reading is for Gemini for the first 2 weeks of November 2020. That's Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising. If your Venus is in Gemini, if you're cross-watching for a Gemini, it's all relevant. But of course, being general reading, it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone watching. So if you know your signs, all of them, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch them all. Each one can bring in a little bit of different perspective, maybe help you navigate through whatever's going on in your life right now. If you find that any of these readings do resonate with you, you'd like to reach out for a personal reading or information about that, maybe take a deeper look at something, you can click on the description link below. You'll see my email address there. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond with more info the same day or the first 24 hours. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all the main areas of life. And scheduling is done in a fairly timely fashion too, as I do readings full time. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule and mine to get those readings set up as quickly as possible. So email me if you're interested. Okay, Gemini. Let's see what the first half of November has in store for you. I'm using Legacy of the Divine Tarot with the Gilded Tarot Royale. Gemini. We begin with the Eight of Swords, followed by the Two of Swords. It's like somebody feels held back or trapped or not able to change their situation, but they don't really want to look at changing it either. Because if they examine it too quickly, too closely, then they'll realize that the only thing that's keeping them trapped is their own thoughts and ideas and perspectives, and they'll have to make a choice and take action. So it's kind of like a head stuck in the sand. I can't change this, I can't change it, but not even wanting to look at changing it or what you might need to do to affect something. Maybe just not wanting to have a part in something playing out. We have the Empress next. New beginnings, fertility, or this could be an issue around the mother, or a mother, or you as a mother. And we have death, complete endings. From the bottom of the deck, the Fool, brand new beginnings. Very first major arcana card in the tarot, he has the 0 at the bottom of his card. So it's about taking a brand new journey, taking a risk, stepping out of the comfort zone in order to explore something new. Kind of exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. The Fool sometimes can represent being foolish in your actions and decisions and doing something too spontaneously and impulsively, which might get you into trouble. It really kind of depends. So either you're afraid of looking at something, Gemini, or dealing with something, you don't want to acknowledge that something has come to an end or is coming to an end or needs to come to an end. Or it could be that you're making a very significant decision to go off in a completely different direction, or you're making a significant life choice that is really risky perhaps, or that might be seen as really risky, and you're just hell-bent on doing it. You don't care about what anybody else says. You don't want to look at maybe what the effects or consequences of it. You just want to go do this thing. Really kind of depends. All right, well, let's clarify. Let's clarify the Fool. The Ten of Cups, traditionally the happy home card. A card of, the number 10 represents cycle ending or cycle completion. typically the happy home, marriage, childbirth, you know, the white picket fence. Let's clarify that. Why the Fool and the Ten of Cups? So this is obviously has something to do with the home and family. It's about the home and family, or marriage, the structure, the home structure, like family, could be family dynamics, making a decision, a radical decision that's going to affect whatever your white picket fence is. The Emperor. So we have the Emperor and the Empress both. They're a natural match. The traditional father, mother of the tarot on a high level. They rule all the kings and queens. So there's a couple here. Because the Emperor and the Empress is a couple. The Empress doesn't go with anybody but the Emperor, and the Emperor doesn't belong with anybody but the Empress. It might be parents, it might be somebody's parents, it might be, I mean, one of these might be you and the other person might be your spouse or something of that sort. Let me just pull one more clarifying card. The Fool, the Ten of Cups, the Emperor. Did somebody, are you splitting up with someone? It could be a divorce, or somebody's parents are splitting up. And you just don't want to deal with it or look at it, or somebody else doesn't want to. If you're one of those that's making a decision to, maybe, is the Emperor leaving the home? Like the Emperor and the Empress are, they're people. I mean, one of them might be you, but the other one's also an actual human being here. Is somebody coming home after a long time, gone, or somebody leaving home? Feels like maybe a divorce or somebody leaving or something. The Five of Pentacles, somebody being out in the cold. It might be somebody coming back after a mistake or something like that, and you're just like, no, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Again, I'm getting like somebody's parents, like this is about somebody's parents, splitting up, reconciling, or wanting to, or something of that sort. Okay. Like somebody's leaving home, or somebody left the home, or dad left mom, or something of that sort. Which would be pretty unusual for the Emperor to do. But it would be unusual for the Empress to do it to the Emperor too, but I mean, these things do happen. This could also have to do with health. But it's a general reading, so pinpointing exactly what it is impossible. But I'm getting a strong connection to parents, somebody's parents. You might be one of those parents. There's some kind of situation that's coming in which you don't want to acknowledge or you don't want to look at. You know, it might be your parents are getting older. It might be one of your parents is getting older. It might be that, you know, your partner's getting older, you are, and you don't want to look at it. I mean, it could be a variety of things. It could be that maybe one of your parents needs more care than they can receive at home, and it's hard for someone to acknowledge that, and it feels like there isn't anything you can do about it, but at the same time you don't want to look at it because you're afraid. Clarify the Eight of Swords. This is a card of feeling helpless. The Nine of Swords. Ugh. What a terrible combination of cards, Gemini. It's a card of feeling helpless and feeling really stressed out and thinking about something too much. Obsessive thinking about a future which hasn't played out yet, and it's almost always the worst possible outcome in your mind. But all is not lost here. Swords represents energy and air, energy in our head. This is a card of like your worst fear is hijacking your rational mind and telling you that the world's going to blow up. But I don't think it's as bad as all that, number one, and there might be more of a solution or some insight or wisdom to be gained here, as represented by this owl that's sitting on the windowsill, which is a symbol of, you know, knowledge, information, wisdom. She's not looking at it because she's too consumed with, you know, all these thoughts and fears. So it's thinking about something too much. You feel helpless and you're just thinking about it. Like the more you think about it, the worse it gets in your head. Oh, something else just jumped out. the Four of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is something, regardless of what the nature of the specifics and details are, this is something which is going to have a significant impact on the home and family, but you're thinking that it's going to be negative, or it is negative or challenging, but you're making it like really, really, really huge. Clarify the Two of Swords. What is it that you don't want to look at? I mean, because we do have death here, even though most of us really don't like to look at death in the literal sense. I mean, in the literal sense, it is a transition we all have to go through, and it could be that somebody's parent or one of the parents is ill, and you just don't want to look at, you know, that realistic kind of transition, or you might be afraid of that. And it might be, again, because I'm getting such a strong parental thing here, you know, that you just, it's something you don't want to acknowledge or look at, and it's completely understandable. So the Two of Swords, what you don't want to look at, because you might have to make decisions, and this might be making decisions about a parent or parents too, and you don't want to. You know, maybe they need more care, maybe they need to go into hospice, or, you know, maybe it's time to modify the will or make a will or something of that sort. What is it that you don't want to look at? The World, major endings, completion. So we have the Fool, which is where the tarot journey starts, and we have the World, which is where it ends and completes and then moves on to something new. And we have death here. So there's what's, I don't actually think this is, I mean, we do have cards that represent major endings, but they also, especially with the World, it's about preparing for the next level and leveling up. And we do have the Fool, which is starting a new journey over again. So regardless of what it is, there's something more beyond just all of this stress about an ending. It feels more like you're afraid of the ending because you're afraid to start a new journey. It's stepping out of your comfort zone. Clarify the World and the Two of Swords. So you don't want something to end and move on into the next phase of something. Clarify the World. Maybe something, that's just what I was thinking, Ten of Wands. Maybe something's gotten to be too much. Maybe you've been caring for someone and it's just gotten to be too much of a burden, and you know you need to get help, or you know they need to go into hospice, or somebody, you know, there needs to be some kind of major change, but it's so near and dear to your heart in terms of home and family that even though you kind of know that this has to come to an end because it's too heavy, it's too overwhelming for you to carry, there's still this, you know, this is like a textbook example of somebody who has been caring for like a parent or somebody in that position, and it's just gotten to be too much, and they know they need more help, or they know this person needs to go into hospice, and they know they need to start making decisions and plans about that, but it's painful and it hurts and you don't want to do it, and I can understand that. One more card, clarity for that. Ace of Swords, yeah, the epiphany, the light bulb going off, the realization of something, yeah. Clarify the Empress. The Five of Wands, conflict. So if the Empress is someone's mother or you're the Empress, like, there's like a lot of going back and forth about it and everybody trying to get on the same page, and maybe some conflicts or arguing or kind of going around and around in circles because of it. The Lovers, yeah, which usually represents a relationship being at a crossroads, needing to make a decision about a relationship or a decision that's going to affect that relationship. Yeah, so I mean, it could be this whole health issue. We've already kind of gone into that. It could be like some kind of a divorce issue, somebody moving out, or you never thought they would. I mean, the Emperor and the Empress is not supposed to split up, right? Yeah. Let's pull one more clarifying card for the Emperor, the Empress, the Five of Wands, and the Lovers. Yeah, it's like somebody doesn't want to make a decision. The Three of Swords, yeah. Because it's a breakup, or a split up, or separation, any way you want to look at it. Yeah, I understand. This is all understandable. It feels like something that's sort of inevitable, and you know it. And getting to this, even just getting to this point has just been heavy and overwhelming, and you know it has to come to an end, whether it's caring for someone or watching, your parents fight, and you know this needs to stop. It needs to come to an end. There needs to be something else happening, but it's very difficult for you to look at and address, even if you're one of these primary people, the Emperor and the Empress. So let's clarify death. The Four of Swords, yeah. It's about, the Four of Swords is about taking a maybe temporary respite in order to kind of think and recover your strength, because it looks like it's just been really overwhelming. What's behind that? Strength, facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. Yeah, it's whatever this change is, there's an ending and a transition into something else. And whatever this change is, it looks very difficult, but I get this feeling that underneath, you know this has to occur. And so at the end of this 2-week period or somewhere around there, you're kind of like taking a step back, and so and kind of gathering your strength so you can actually really take a look at it. So let's pull some advice and guidance. It feels very challenging and painful and heavy and kind of scary. I mean, it feels like maybe you need to face this, you need to deal with it, but I think maybe for the time being, or maybe around the middle of the month or so, maybe you should just kind of go out and do something else for a little bit, or try to carve out some niches, some space, some bits of time, Gemini, where you can get a bit of a reprieve and a distraction from this to kind of help give you a little bit more balance, so it's not just all about this 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. I'm thinking about it constantly. Taking some breaks, some reprieve from it, maybe getting out or doing something different from time to time, just to give yourself some regular, like mental vacation from it. Advice. The Six of Swords, yeah, slowly but surely moving away from whatever the source of this conflict is, getting better. The Six of Wands is definitely a card about getting out and being seen, being recognized, of course, victory and triumph. I mean, you're going to be fine at the end of this, but this can be a card of, being out, being seen, being around other people. I mean, taking into consideration that with safety issues, living through COVID times right now, of course. And the Three of Cups. Yeah, this is the party card. This is a card of high social energy. Getting together with friends, with people that you really connect with, maybe people who are aware of this. Getting out and just doing things for no other reason, or positive connections in your community. Getting out for no other reason than just to be around other people, being around something that isn't this from time to time. For no other reason than to have fun, to laugh, to kind of relieve some of that tension and relieve some of that stress. Again, of course, considering the times we're living right now, being safe and doing that. Yeah. Because it doesn't feel like there's anything you can really do to affect this in any kind of significant way. It's just about how you choose to deal with it, both with the situation itself and also making sure that you get some mental and physical, away time to kind of help balance out, what you're kind of walking through right now. My heart goes out to you, Gemini. Okay, Gemini, that is your reading for the first half of November. This is one of those that I can't say I hope you enjoyed it, because it just looks like one of those times that we all go through that's just really kind of sucks. So, but I hope that this reading was helpful or gave some insight or validation of some kind. Again, if you want to take a deeper look at something or reach out for a personal reading, click the description link below. Feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the November mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.